have played both sides of this game. I've been the dog in heat, just bone and dame. I've been the straight up dude, no playing games. It's always gonna be a reason or someone to blame. It starts in the mirror if you wanna see change. Don't be a hypocrite, having standards out your lane. Chasing waterfalls, you can drown chasing fame. What's love if you always gotta flirt with the next main? Be a hoe if you want, don't get mad.
What's going on, man? This is your boy Samson, and I'm back again with another video here at Angry Line Radio. Yo, today's society is in a downfall. We see that the women are not teaching their daughters to be wives. Instead, they're teaching them to be independent. And yeah, so I got a video we're gonna check out here, man. This is Kevin Samuels, right? And shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. R.I.P. Rest in peace. He did grave work for us men, and as men, we should observe his work so we can understand the mind frame of modern day women. Okay, the dynamic has changed. And we should take a look and we should listen closely. All right, here we go. Check this out.
Don't be in the dark.
Oh, let me get some. You want light?
Oh yes. You want to talk?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
Light. I am 40.
Okay. First of all, you're 40. Are you married? Or are you single?
I'm sorry. I am married. I'm married.
Say again. You broke up. Define egotistical. Define egotistical.
You.
No. Define egotistical. You can't say me. You use the word. Now please define it for the audience.
When I bring up the word egotistical, your face is right next to it. Like,
okay. So
me,
look, I'm gonna no. See, this is what's gonna happen.
You come off as a man
So this is what's gonna happen, chick. Either we're gonna do it my way. I'm trying to give you an opportunity, but if you want to go that way, I can do this without you. Yeah, because you're not talking. So you can either see. This is when these women who just like to talk. So you can either answer the question. Yep. Gave you an opportunity. Feel sorry for your husband. See, what you do is you call women on their bullshit, and what's the first thing to come out of their mouth? Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Sign language. There you go. Bring you back home, give you an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation. But see, you are not, you throw that shit out there, but they can't stand on it. So we don't need you for that. We've heard this shit enough of our lives. She wasn't expecting me to ask her to define a word. Now was she? Oh, he actually want me to know what I'm talking about. Zippity doo dah. No, man, you're gonna have to stand on what you say. Stand on your disrespect, but at least be able to define it. You're gonna have to do better than that. Gonna have to do better than that. Don't you understand? You got a 40-year-old woman who could not even get through 3 sentences of a conversation. When I say 3 sentences, 3 paragraphs in a conversation, but she did level. Hello?
Oh. Hello, hi Kevin. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
31.
Okay, what's going on with your connection?
Gosh. So to be honest, I just came to my hometown. Haven't been here in 11 years, so that might be why it's kind of spotty.
Okay.
But so new to the show, yes. So I finally got to you. Awesome. I've been like screenshotting and tagging you. Ooh, sorry. Yes.
Okay.
I gotta call her. My cousin. Boop. It's my cousin Boop. All right, man. Oh, I appreciate how calm you are. You have a nice calm sense about you. And I understand human anatomy a little bit, and I love your shows. They're very informative. It's great information to take. I'm a 6-year vegan. I don't know if you know too much about that, but I like to get that out in the
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. God damn. Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you?
I am 20.
20. Oh my goodness. You're young. So what are we talking about tonight?
We are talking about.
Did you have a question or did you want to discuss? Because I have several topics and none of them pertain to you.
I actually DM'd you yesterday and I commented.
Who's that with the camera over to the side?
My friend.
Oh, okay. Hey, how are you? You DM me.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just saying I get a lot of DMs, man.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Well, to introduce myself, I'm Emerson P. Daniel, a junior strategic legal management communications major, concentrated in organizational management from Ellicott City, Maryland, and I go to Howard University. And so what I want to talk to you about is I'm a big fan of your work. And so I just want to chat, you know?
If you were a young woman, what would you be thinking?
I know you heard that. So if you were a young woman in my shoes, what is the best tip that you would give me?
What does your father tell you?
What does my father tell me? Well, my father tells me that he watches you, actually. All the men in my life, like the older men, they watch you and they say well, you asked one lady if she was raised to be a wife, and I was raised to be a wife. And that's how I feel. I find that amongst my peers, that's not the popular narrative. You know, you seem as if you're gonna like you're wrong for wanting to be a wife, for wanting to be a woman in a relationship.
Are you in a relationship?
No.
Have you been in a relationship?
Yes.
How long ago?
I got out of it in February.
How long did it last?
A year.
When you graduate, what do you plan on doing?
Well, I'm interning right now. I don't have a specific job that I want, but I have a bunch of internships. And
What do you want to do in your 20s?
What do I want to do in my 20s? If I had it my way, I would be a stay-at-home mom and raise my children. Or I would start my career when I have children. I would take care of them. And then I would, when they get old enough, I would want to go back to work. But I would definitely like to have that flexibility.
How many children do you want?
2, but then I also think about living in this modern day. I fear for children, and I fear for, the way that I fear for them growing up in this world. And what I mean by that is in terms of, they don't play outside anymore. They want to be involved in the screens. And there's a less interpersonal communication going on.
Whose responsibility is that?
Their parents, and that's why I would, step in there. But then they would be like a different kid. And when you're a different kid, you're like, Mom, I want to do this. I want to do this. And it can just become a huge fight.
Fight with whom?
Between a child and their parents.
On what planet?
Okay, not a fight, but the kid is always nagging and saying, oh, I want a phone,
It's called a belt.
I know. I know. But the belt, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be, but I shouldn't say that.
You said you were raised to be a wife?
Yes.
What did your mother raise you to do for a man?
What did my mother raise me to do? What?
For a man.
Be a support system, cook, clean, to be, I don't, you know, I'm on here and I'm on live with you, honestly, so I'm at a loss for words in terms of what it means to be a wife, but I feel
how
that.
How can you say you were raised to be a wife then?
In society, there's a certain connotation as what a wife is.
Use simple words. Don't worry about the college words.
A wife is a woman in a relationship. Oh,
No.
my connection is, or your connection is breaking up.
My connection's fine. I have 5 bars.
Can you see me now? Okay.
No. A wife doesn't have a connotation, ma'am. A wife is a job duty, just like a husband. Cooking,
A job
cleaning.
duty to take care of the household.
Cooking, cleaning is something you have to do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically did your mother teach you to do for the man in your life?
There wasn't something where she sat down and was like, Emerson, you do this and this.
Then you weren't raised to be a wife.
Okay.
But I saw her be a wife.
Yeah, exactly. I saw her be a wife. So
You can watch somebody do kung fu. That doesn't matter.
okay, so to you, what does it mean to be a wife?
These are the questions you need to ask your mother. You need to go ask your mother, Mom, what does it mean to be a wife? What am I supposed to do for my husband? How am I supposed to do these things?
Okay.
I think he'll be a better person to ask than me. She's your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have the knowledge?
Mm-hmm.
Then why didn't she transfer it to you if that's her number one duty?
Well, she says Emerson, when you're growing up, they say, don't wear provocative clothing.
They told you what not to do, but what did she tell you to do?
Well, you cook, you clean.
You have to do that for your survival.
You support them in their endeavors.
That's a passive. That's basically give me instructions and I'll do. No, proactive. I asked you a question. Does she have the knowledge? You said yes. I asked you why didn't she transmit it to you if it's her number one job? The mother is the first teacher of the child and the transmitter of the culture. Why did your mother, who has the knowledge, not transfer it to you? No, I'm not talking to you.
I don't know.
Then that's a question you need to ask your mother. Because that's one of the problems we have today is so many women aren't teaching their daughters how to be wise. Did your mother encourage? I'm not talking to you, sir. I'm talking to the women. Please respect my show. Did your mother encourage you to go to college?
Yes.
Did your mother encourage you to pursue a career?
Yes.
So your mother has encouraged you more to be an individual.
No. In terms of going to college, she says you need to get a college education.
For what reason? To get a job.
To get a job.
To be an
However,
individual. No. See, your instinct is to defend your mother. I'm not trying to, but I'm saying your mother has told you what not to do. Then she's told you what to do. Don't dress provocatively. Go to college to get a degree so you can get a job, a career. But I asked you, what has she told you to do for a man? And there's crickets. Then you said you were raised to be a wife, but by whom? This is where the women are failing you young girls, mothers included. You said your mother has the knowledge. Then go ask her, Mom, you told me not to dress provocatively. You encouraged me to go to college. But what do I need to do for my husband?
Okay, so she's told me to be a confidant, to be, supportive.
That is passive.
What do you mean by
A
passive?
confidant means I come to you and I confide in you. What has she actively told you to do for a man? Like cooking and cleaning. What has she actively told you? She said, be there to support him. How? To be a confidant. In short, your mother hasn't taught you.
Okay, so in terms of, I understand. So for you, or not for you, but in general, what does it mean to be a wife? What is this active
That's
definition?
In general, it's for women of the village to teach the younger women of the village. I'm pointing you to the knowledge base. I'm supposed to teach the men how to be warriors.
Okay,
I'm supposed to teach the men how to fight. That's not my job to teach you. You have a mother. The first question you asked me is X, Y, and Z. And I said, what? What does your
mother?
The first thing I said is, what does your father tell you?
Yeah.
The first thing I said. And you said, he told me these things. Mm-hmm. All right. That's his job. That's his duty. What has your mother told you to do for a man, your husband? She's told you what to do for Emerson to be a self-sustaining adult, cooking and cleaning. You do that for yourself. Going to college. She did not tell you to go to college to find a husband, did she?
Yes.
Did she teach you how?
Well, then what I was...
Has your mother taught you how?
You don't approach a man...
But what did she teach you to do?
Basically to...
Nothing.
Sit pretty.
Passive. And this is why Becky, Marisol, and Mylene get the black men, because the women aren't teaching you guys how to actively go after. She telling you to go to college to find a husband, but she's not telling you how to actively even put yourself. You're just supposed to sit there. Well, how would this approach work if you wanted to succeed scholastically or academically? Just showing up.
What approach?
Just showing up.
Oh, it wouldn't happen.
Okay.
Okay, well, are women supposed to approach men?
It's not the question. It's not the question. Your mother's supposed to teach you how to do something for a man, how to attract a man, how to keep a man, how to work with a man.
I understand.
Do you have any sisters?
I want to know.
Okay, but you need to ask your mother. I'm not going to overstep that line. Do you have any sisters?
Yes.
Do you have any brothers?
Yes.
Does your father teach your brother? Are your brothers older or younger?
Younger.
Does your father teach your brothers what a man is supposed to do? How much younger? How old is the youngest?
17. So he's not quite there yet.
But if your father's teaching you and watching me, he should be teaching his sons. But I'm asking your mother, has she taught? How many sisters do you have?
One.
You're older or younger?
Older.
Is she married?
Mm-hmm.
What has your sister taught you about working with the man?
She is a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she worked, but then, once they had a child.
But what has she taught you? I mean, how many years older is she than you?
Like 16.
So, by the same mother?
Yes.
So your mother taught.
She's a half sister, but.
Half sister meaning what? She's your different father? Different father? Was she raised in the house with you?
No. Cause she's old. I mean, so it was a long time ago. Like it was in She
Well, if
had
you're,
her.
all I'm trying to understand is if your older sister's married, who taught her how to be a wife? That's all I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what your mother's teaching you. And it doesn't sound like your mother's teaching you how to be a wife. And if you're saying, was your sister, your sister that's older, was she raised by your mother?
Well, yes, kind of.
Okay. So, your mom.
Well, should you? Okay, so as a wife, you should give your husband undivided attention, right?
Ask your mom.
Why can't you tell me anything?
Because I'm not your mother. Why is it so hard for you to ask your mother these questions?
It's not.
But
I would like to learn from you.
It's not my job to teach you. Whose job is it to teach you?
My mom's.
Why don't you want to learn from your mother?
I do.
Isn't she married?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a relationship where you can talk about things?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, I will ask her.
Do you understand this out of place? You asking a man how to be a wife, and you haven't asked your mother how to be a wife? And your mother hasn't taught you how to be a wife? Your mother taught you don't dress provocatively and go to college.
I would argue against that.
I don't care what you argue against, ma'am. You're arguing in ignorance. You're 20 years old and you're arguing in ignorance. Any argument you would make is going to be feelings based. You're the same woman that says, I was raised to be a wife, and I ask you how. And we've just broken it down step by step.
Okay, so being raised to be a wife is more so from an instruction or active sense and not from observation.
Can you observe how to drive a car? You can observe it, but does it teach? Do you learn? Can you drive one just by observation?
Not completely, no.
Not completely, not even partially.
Yes, we can.
Check that.
I grew up in the car, and then when it was time for me to drive it.
Check that attitude.
Okay.
It's inappropriate, young lady.
Okay.
Would you talk to your father that way? Do you know how to cook?
Yes.
So you think the best way to learn how to cook is watching someone and then going off memory?
No, that's not the best way to learn.
Well, then if watching is part of it, but it's not all of it.
Yeah, that's
so your mother has not taught you. She's told you what not to do and where to go. She told you to go to college to find a husband, but she hasn't told you what to do to find one. And she even told, so y'all got conversations to have. And this is the point. And why am I doing this, folks? Is because in the Black community, Black women do not teach their daughters how to become wives. Even the women who know how to be wives don't teach it. They teach their daughters to go to school and become individuals. And then you get young ladies like you who are confused. And then when you ask, go to your mothers, you got this over reverence for mom. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. When you should be going and saying, why didn't you teach me this stuff? Because in the sexual marketplace, in the wide world, you're behind. You said in your 20s, you want to be a wife. You weren't raised to be a wife. You're raised to get a job. The school, you got this, you spent more time talking about who you are and your degree and everything else. And I ask you about being a wife, and it's crickets. So can you honestly say you're being prepped to become a wife, or you're being prepped to become a single woman working?
Being prepped to become a single woman working.
And if you don't want that, you need to go to the woman who you say has the knowledge and ask her, why didn't you teach me? And you need to press her 10 times harder than you pressing a stranger on Instagram. But can you do that? I want to hear about what happens when you press your mother, because you should. Ask her, Mom, why didn't you teach me?
Okay.
Ask your sister. Ask the women in your family that are married. Have a good one.
You too.
Early in the video, there was a young man sitting next to this girl, and it seemed like he was coaching her on what questions to ask. Don't be that guy, please. Simp. Did you guys notice how she actually came to the realization that she was never actually taught to be a wife? Fellas. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a small look into the mind frame of the modern day woman. This is why the passport bros exist. I'm not really an advocate for the passport bros, but I'm not bashing them neither. You know, if I had the means, I would probably do the same. Looking into how the women here think. Okay, they do not want to do the duty of a wife. Sad. Hey, but that's it for this one, man. I hope you enjoyed it. Check in again for another episode here at Angry Line Radio.
I have played both sides of this game. I've been the dog in heat, just boning dame. I've been a straight up dude, no playing games. It's always gonna be a reason or someone to blame. It starts in the mirror if you wanna see change. Don't be a hypocrite, having standards out your lane. Chasing waterfalls, you can drown chasing fame. What's love if you always gotta flirt with the next main? Be a hoe if you want, don't get mad when we call your name.